Hey guys, this is going to be a video to show off Feral Druid in the current raid build setup. So using Lunar Inspiration, Savage Roar, Jagged Wounds and Blood Talons. So I'm going to be using the opener. Like, you start with precasting Healing Touch, go to Stealth, and then Rake, Moonfire for the longer Savage Roar, Zerg, Tiger's Fury, Frenzy, Shred, Rip, and then you can start going. Refresh Savage Roar, Shred, get your Rip, and that's the opener. And then basically you just want to now just keep everything rolling. The thing you have to keep in mind is that in the current version of things, well, timers are going to be very tight due to Jagged Wounds, and so it's actually pretty recommended to refresh early at times. So you can refresh Savage Roar and Rip as early as 10 seconds for Savage Roar and 8 seconds for Rip. Here I'm going to refresh Rip because it's the most important, and then I should have refreshed Rake, but I got distracted talking. But it's okay for Savage Roar to drop if it doesn't influence your bleed up times. As you see, I tried to time it so that it would be down with both Rip and Rake rolling. I'm going to delay, actually I should not, but you usually want to use Frenzy with Tiger's Fury and Savage Roar, but like pretty early after you use Tiger's Fury, so I'm just going to do this here. You also want to use it with a Blood Talon stack because it's a pretty big damage boost. Now see, that's the other thing here. You want to pull when you're at max energy and things are rolling. You do not have to use your combo points right away. Your energy right away. You just let it happen. Wait for your energy to be almost full, and then you Rip, and then you want to spam your build as much as possible back to 5 in order to try and gain a Shaman's Bite, which is the first golden trait you want to have been going for, which is a ginormous DPS increase. Here again, see him prioritizing Rip over Savage Roar because I have so much time right here, and the only thing I'm losing is a few shreds, which given feral direct damage isn't that huge. There we go. Now see, I have a lot of time here. Just gonna try to keep everything as close to 100% uptime as I could. Just realized I forgot to log this. I meant to log this run so you could see how it goes. Berserk is up. I'm going to wait for Tiger's Fury and then just do the whole thing over again. Should have pulled more here actually. Blood Talon stack. You want to always use Rake and Rip with Blood Talons. Okay, a bit here. This is not something you usually want to do outside of execute phase, as it's very risky in the current, well, again, the timers. Getting pretty good. Alright. This actually worked out pretty well. Sometimes if you're not careful, it can fuck you up and it can lead to basically loss of bleed up time, which is bad and a pretty big loss, so you want to avoid it if at all possible. I'm gonna refresh Rip. Whoops, that was bad. I should not have done that. Overrid the Rake too late, which bad. Alright. you may have noticed I use Moonfire in order to prevent the use of a stack of Blood Talons, which is one reason taking this talent is pretty nice, because it lets you smooth out a lot of things in your rotation. Like, again, if you mess up a bit, or if you had to use Healing Touch early in order to prevent wasting the proc, this is where Blood Talons comes in really handy, on top of being vastly superior to the other options in that tier on Cleave. Okay, gonna refresh Rake again. I mean, Rip and Rake. It's okay, goodbye Savage Roar. Gonna refresh Moonfire because it does benefit from Savage Roar. As I checked, I could be wrong, but I do not think so. So keep Blood Talons rolling. You basically want to rake every Blood Talons, because that just ensures you have your uptime well good, and it's a relatively minor loss even if you clip a slightly stronger bleed, because basically the only one that will change is Tiger's Fury, and that's it's 15%, which again, if that ensures that you have 100% uptime, it's probably going to be worth it. I see, like here, like very long duration rips are very good because it's a Shamanist Bite, as I was mentioned earlier. It copies the rip you currently have on when you use a builder. It's a 10% chance, so it's random obviously, but the idea is the more long, like the more you have rip up at very high durations, the more chances it will have of proccing a long shadow rip, and that is well, again, like the more shadow rip you have rolling, the more damage you'll be doing, and it is pretty big. So that's why you oh, goodbye. Yeah, see, Moonfire. I'm gonna build up. There we go. I wasted a bit of energy, which was not ideal, but I did get everything rolling. Got my high duration Tiger's Fury buffed. Break. See, now I have 3 seconds. I can let energy pool up, then go. Try and spam to try and force friend Shamanist Bite into proccing, but I'm not having much luck with this right now. Actually, it's I've had better RNG. But again, it is RNG, but if you're consistent enough in your pooling, you are going to eliminate a lot of the randomness, and you'll just overall have very static, mostly reliable values for it. It usually does about, I'd say, 10-15% of my damage on raid bosses, which is not negligible at all, and it's well, that's pretty much the reason why we beeline for it the moment we can. Things rolling pretty smoothly. I think I'm actually not pulling quite as much as I should be doing. It's pretty easy to get caught up. There we go. Should not have let that drop. I think I got distracted on the previous pull because I used Frenzy, which ate up the Blood Talons. And which again threw me off a bit. See, I have a 14 seconds rip up, which is pretty good. I think I should have refreshed rip here, but I think it was an okay decision in this case because the rip would have been slightly weaker if I'd clipped. So refreshing Savage Roar and trying to ensure that it won't drop for a while is an acceptable choice. So I'm gonna let it drop a bit without letting, of course, Moonfire and Rake fall. Right. Gonna refresh Rake because it's slow. I'm not sure if I should have refreshed Savage Roar here. I think I should. Rip. I think I should have actually gone Savage Roar because, as you see, the Tiger's Fury went back up immediately after, and probably I would have been able to put it back up with less uptime. It's minor gain, but everything's a win if you can get it up. See, same situation here. Tiny drop, but as far as they go, I think that could have gone worse. Alright, let it take a bit. Refresh Rake as it falls. Tiger's Fury's gonna get back up. I'm gonna Frenzy. Refresh Rip very early here, but again, we're trying to game Shadow Rip, and the thing is, and again, Ferocious Bite is extremely risky at the moment. Of course, ideally, as you get used to it, you want to try and squeeze it in, but it's going to be a risk, and if you're starting out or if you're still a bit uncomfortable with the rotation, it's honestly kind of recommended that you just do not bite at all outside of execute phase, which happens at 25% health, which won't happen on this dummy because he is immortal. Anyway, I hope this was clear. I guess if there's anything, you can feel free to ask, and I'll be glad to try and explain, because it's nice seeing cats around, and Emerald Nightmare is a very good raid for us at the moment.